All right. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this platform with another message. And we have a wonderful message today. Uh, it's like I started over here and then I was ready. I was content. But the spirit of the Most High Yah switched me over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my topic, understanding why Yah didn't want us mixing with other nations. Why Yah didn't want us mixing with other nations. And it makes so much sense. Yeah, it makes so much sense. So I got a little bit, hello in the live chat. I got a little bit about what kind of level he's moving me to. I know it's a higher level, but now I'm starting to really grip the fact that it is a higher level. It's a level in understanding that, that's not even found on the earth. Oh, Father Yah, I tell you this, I can do nothing without the Most High Yah. Do you hear me? I cannot do nothing without the Most High Yah. And what I'm learning is that we missed it all. We didn't just miss some, we missed it all. Hello in the live chat. It's good to see you. See, I would say we missed, come on, come on, a little. We missed everything, you guys. We have missed everything. Okay. So it's just, I can see the level of where he is taking me. And yes, it is a higher level. And to tell you the truth of the whole matter, it's a level I've never gone. And what I'm going to share with you, and we're going to share something in the book of John, the Gospel of John, chapter 1. And I'm going to take you again, places you never gone. Oh, yeah, you say you've been there. But when I finish with it, you're going to realize I ain't never been there, Deborah. I ain't going to tell no lie. I have never been there. Okay? So we're going to go into the book of John, the Gospel of John. We're going to start with verse 1. But before we go there, I have to cover understanding why Yah didn't want us mixing with other nations. Now, I want you women out there to really understand this. Right now, where we're at in the minds of our men is just not there. To me, the greatest thing that has hit the earth is truth and righteousness. Without that, they just out there. Okay? And all these people on these devil platform don't mean nothing. If there's no truth and righteous, and both of them can stand alone, they don't even need each other. They can stand alone. But I'm just saying those are two of the power punches that exist. And they are the ones that leads to that narrow gate where he said, very few shall find. That's why it's very few going to find it, because they don't understand where on the earth the most power punching, I would say, of anything on the earth is righteousness and truth. Those two alone walks alone. They don't even walk together. They walk alone. That's how much power in each one of them. They don't need to walk side by side. They can walk this thing alone. Okay. So let me explain something to you. And I really would desire that men get this, but they won't get it because it's so much that y'all put before them to get, starting with Genesis 1. And here we are in the year of 2024, still yet they haven't received that which Yah had given them what? Freely. And then when I try to cover them in any shape, form, or fashion, hey, Deborah, stand down. I already put it in them. I don't want to hear what you got to say. I put it in them. And when I really embraced all the scriptures in the instructions and direction book that shows you that Yah had already put it in them, I can't cover them up. They can't get covered up. Yah said he already put it in them. And let me explain to you. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because a young lady sent me a comment, and it was early morning today. And I said, when I deal with her, when I get up, but I got to break this down to her. But the moment I wanted to break it down to her based on what she can understand, which is this here instructions and direction book, now I can pull out more based on the spirit. See, I understand it in the spirit, and then the spirit takes me to this and break it down. And when he did that, honey, it took me so many places today. I will say, I know exactly what you're doing now, Father. You moving me to a level I have never been on, and nor have anyone else. And I said, this is some level. Now, let me explain to you all this. I want to cover this, understanding why Yah did not want us mixing with nation. If he could have trust Israel and Judah men to go into other nations, okay, and marry and have children without forsaking him. I think that's so beautiful. Oh, Father Yah. Oh, Father Yah. I think that is so beautiful. Because I don't know where that come from. That's why I know it's beautiful. I know who it come from, but I'm talking about I don't know where it come from. But that's a part of what I'm breaking down, but I just thank him for letting me start it off like that. If Israel and Judah could have went into other nations and held on to the Most High Yah and introduced them to their Yah, Yah wouldn't have had a problem with them marrying other nations. Ain't that deep? Woo-wee! Woo-wee! But because Israel and Judah, men, he's talking to the men. See, you cannot apply it to the women. This is a man thing. Want me to tell you why? When the Ruach spent time with me this morning, breaking this thing down, I was like, Father, you know you so awesome. So I want to tell the whole world, the kingdom didn't have nothing wrong with the fact that they were married into other nations. Because the weakness of Israel and Judah men, they could not serve Yah and their wives from other nations. Why? Because they turned 100%. For the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, 100% away from him. Just to have a wife and children from another nation. I'm going to say it again because it's going already over your head. The Father in heaven wants me to let you know the problem never was that Israel and Judah men went into other nations. marrying and having children. He said the problem was they didn't take him with them. They didn't let him be on the highest pedestal in their marriage and amongst their family with other nations. If a man of Israel and Judah married another nation, hey, other nation, you're going to know my God. You're going to know he is the beginning and the end. He is the highest level in our house. He is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's. That's my forefather. And he ain't going nowhere. Either you get with him or you don't get with me. And the Father want me to let you know that was the problem, Deborah. That was the whole problem in it all. He told Solomon, don't mess with them women of other nations. All they're going to do is take you from me. And did not they do it? First King 11, chapter 11, verse 2. He pleaded with Israel not to take on the other wives of other nations and have children. They had to leave them behind. Why? Because y'all say they never had me in it, Deborah. When Israel and Judah men go into another nation, they don't have the sense. They lose it all. I agree. Because he said they turn not only who they are, but who they Yah is into everything that surrounds the other nation's environment and mindset. Taking Israel and Judah men from who? Yah. That's all it has been about. And for that reason, he did not want them mixing with no other nation, because the weakness of Judah men, the weakness of Israel men was they will turn their backs 100% from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob every time they go into another nation and desire other wives and families, having families. He don't get to be in the center. He don't be the head. As long as they don't marry other wives and they stay within their own nation, Yah is the head. This is what Yah want y'all to understand. It ain't no beef with him. It was a problem with Israel and Judah. Men that couldn't uphold the standards of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's God. Once they go into another nation, they turn their whole ways to the ways of that other nation. Tell me, ain't that how the men are? Women of Judah. 100%. So when he was telling me, he gave me First King. Y'all need to write this down because it's going to blow your mind. You're going to say, if that little old hen didn't know what she was talking about. It's right here, y'all. Y'all, hey, y'all. Here it is right here. First Kings, chapter 11, verse 2. First Kings, chapter 11, verse 8 through 9. First King, chapter 16, verse 30 through 31. Numbers, chapter 21, verse 1 and 2. Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3 through 4. All of those verses breaks down exactly what I just said. And when you read them, you'll realize y'all had a reason then, Deborah. Yes. Is it the reason that Hebrew Israelites and Israel and Judah say? No. It ain't got nothing to do with what they talking about. The trash they want to teach you about we're not supposed to be marrying. Watch this here. Marrying out of our tribe or out of our nation. All of their reasons of why in this day and time that's taught on these platforms has to do with hate. It don't give you the real reason. But I come to tell you that the Most High Yah sat with me this morning and he broke that thing in me and out. that it really wasn't a problem. The problem is when Israel and Judah did go over into other nations, and then they end up marrying and taking on children, they never kept him. They let him go to get whatever wives in that nation desire and wants. So they lost in what? They lost themselves. They lost themselves and Yah just to have a wife and family in another nation. And I can agree with that even in this day and time. It is known. Look at all the famous basketball players and those who got money. The moment another nation green in their face, and they first thing they do, they want to run and get married. And after a length of time, what do? They take them for everything they worth. And then nobody has nothing to do with them because they turned away from their own people totally with their attitude. Even Michael Jordan, with his attitude, everything, they turned totally away from their own nation to play a role that their wives in the nation that they're married to, in their way of seeing things. They go that way until they are divorced, and she takes everything she could possibly take. And when they back out there to buy themselves, then they'll come back over into their own nation. But until then, they stay right over in that females, and y'all showing you right there. They would not, it's two ways they gave him up. They gave him up for a female. They gave him up for another nation's God. Woo-wee! We in trouble. We are in so much trouble, y'all. We are in so much trouble. We're in more trouble than we think. And I'm like saying, so your thing wasn't because they was no, Deborah. When you go into another nation, you going into another way of serving someone else's God. That's why they would leave Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's God, the God of their own tribes and their nation, to go to somebody else's God. And even though they were in their beliefs, they turned all of it down to go over into this nation where this woman at, because they want the woman so bad, they willing enough to give up their own Yah. The Yah of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, just to be in that nation with another God, just to have that woman. So that's the problem that Yah had. He was wanting me to understand that they continue to lie on him because they ain't got nothing else better to do. And he already know, I know what that's like. Because they will lie on me. People will lie on me. And that's something he know I didn't put before him. They will lie on me just to draw the attention of those they trying to prove that I am the lie or I done something. You see, that's what happened to that event I had last year, that big event. And it was like, wow. No, they didn't. You see? So I know exactly what he's telling me. Now listen to this, y'all. I'm 63. I'm a prophetess in the wilderness. Okay. Now I want to make y'all understand. I ain't gonna make you understand. I'm gonna say this and hope that you understand. I do not see myself as what you would call a teacher. I see myself as a prophetess. So this topic I do not get involved in. But because someone asked me a question, I had to break down every verse just for out of her instructions and direction book with the help of the Ruach, so that she may understand. That's the mind of the flesh. Let me take you to the mind of the spirit. That's the only way I can get you your answer. Come go with me to the mind of the spirit of the Most High Yah. And when he took me there, I was like, you my father. You my father. I know he matters. He broke that thing down to me, and he laid it on me in a way that nobody on this earth can combat or can go up against the fact that what he said. Nothing. Because you listened to it and you said, so when you told Solomon not to go in and you knew he would turn from you to their God, that's why, Deborah. And that's what our men today in Judah will do 100%. And they'll do it with a smile on their face and righteous in their forehead with no problem. So that's the same problem, the same identical problem that the Creator had with them. And that's why he put a seal not to go into other nations. Don't take other nations' wives to marry. That's why. It's really a form of unequally yoke. And if you claim and you unequally yoke, you ain't got no business marrying them no way. But when a man want what he want, when it come down to a woman, he don't care if he get it, if he give up his mama, his daddy, his sister, his brother, his children, even himself and his God. When he want that woman, nothing changes. And he goes the way of that woman, the belief of that woman, the religion of that woman, the God of that woman. And that's what y'all was saying. It wasn't that they could not mix, Deborah, but they did. They want to mix by leaving me. They was turning me as they God down for that woman's gods. That's what y'all was talking about. And when he went on and gave me the verses, I'm going to read them again. He gave them to me. I read them, y'all. I broke them down. I dissected them. I went in with questions. I said, oh, Father, I'm so sorry. Father, ooh, this makes so much sense. But Father, here it is right here. You broke it down like this. And you will get these ignorant, sick people on this devil platform thinking they know something. Teaching you that we are not supposed to marry other nations because he never wanted us. You don't say it like that. Tell the reason why the Father didn't want them mingling or marrying other nations. He had a just reason. He had a just reason. Like unto Noah in Genesis 6. Those angels did a no. What do you mean? The moment they took the women's, they left their mission of Yah. Why you say that, Deborah? Because they were sons of Yah. They were not sons of men. They were sons of Yah that left Yah for the daughters of man. There go another prime example. Don't make my father lie so y'all can live your life. Tell the truth and shame the devil and yourself. Is that what it takes? But you ain't going to shame him no more. He's done with you. He's done. To break that down to me like the Father did, I'm like him now. And I went to the store to pick up something. I said, Father, I'm your mini-me. I see it just like you see it, Father. I see it just like that. And it's beautiful to me. It's so beautiful to y'all. Y'all just don't understand how beautiful that is. The Father justifying and clarifying and identifying why he never wanted Israel and Judah to mix. Because they keep leaving him to turn to other gods. He already know the mind of Judah. He already know the mind of Israel men. Women too, but he wants you to know the men. So when you get over in Kings and you're trying to figure out why did they have to get rid of their wives and their children, see how y'all stand up? You turn that down and you can get me. But if you don't, you and I are solemn. Don't go that route. They're going to turn you from me. And exactly what they did, turned him and he began to worship other gods of those women. And then you walk around here and lying on my father. For what? Because that's how low down we are as human beings. And that was my drive around in my mind. Father, we got some deep, sick issue. He said, yes, it is. And I don't know why he kept telling me it's a part of our heart and heart. You know, like wax hard, Deborah. I said, yeah. I said, but Father, it's deep. It seems like it should be deeper than it. It's so ugly for us to constantly keep lying on him, trying to make it about what he putting on us as a restriction. Tell the truth. It's in your own instructions and direction books that you read. See, that shows you ain't studying because you're so busy talking and ain't hearing. Because you don't have that ear to hear. You don't have that spirit of the ruach to hear. So you run your mouth. You make these videos and you talk. But that's the reason why. Now, the individual asked a lot of powerful questions about, females, the lineage comes from the father and not the mother. But what about Timothy and his grandmother and his mother? You know, they were faithful women, and he was faithful too. He had great faith. And Timothy, I said, see, that's flesh you talking out of you. I let her know that's flesh. Because in the spiritual realm, you already lost. Timothy came in through faith, belief in faith. So what are you talking about? In a sense, trying to tell me when, you know, he was grafted in and he wasn't a Hebrew Israel. What are you talking about? Something you don't know. Because I want to say this too, that I'm tired of people keep saying. And I want to say it to you all, and I don't give a rat's behind what you do with it. But it's called spirit and truth with the light in the right hand. People need to understand Israel and Judah is not the keys to the kingdom. Israel and Judah is not the kings to the kingdom. Do you hear that, YouTube? Do you hear that, YouTube? Israel and Judah is not the keys to the kingdom. Because you're not allowed to say Israel. That's why I'm saying that, y'all. They are not the keys to the kingdom. We have been deceived to believe. We have been manipulated to believe. As long as we can hold on to that, we got our way to the kingdom. You're lost with the cause and without. Because you missed the whole thing. In that process of trying to break this thing down for this lady, then the ruach pulled up in me and broke it down in me. And then turn around and tell me about the same thing about how people running around wanted to come into the kingdom through Israel and Judah. You can't come into the kingdom through Israel and Judah. You can't come in the kingdom through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why? Why? You got to come in through the door. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob cannot overpower Yeshua HaMashiach, the door. And Yeshua can't come in without HaMashiach opening door. That's the power that opened it for him. You cannot do it. People need to stop manipulating people that they can't go to the kingdom unless they come through Israel and Judah. When here we are already been broke down in probably 20 or more verses that the kingdom gonna have all nations in it. How they gonna get there? They don't have to come through Israel nor Judah. And Israel got to come through the door too. They don't tell y'all that, do they? Let me explain how they coming, y'all. None of y'all really got it. You're lost with the call and without it. Because y'all said something in Genesis 15 to Abraham, many of you all have bypassed. And even if Deborah said it 15 million times, you still missed it. When he told Abraham, your seed shall be blessed. shall be blessed, Abraham, through you. How's that? How's that? He was telling Abraham, through you, all nations that's going to come through you is going to be blessed. How? Where are they going to get that blessing from? Because they're going to have to come in the same door Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob went into. And that was Christ, the power. How are they coming in? They coming in as spiritual seeds. That's the door. They are the spiritual seeds shall be blessed in all nations. All nations is going to have the seed of the Spirit like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's the way you come in to Abraham by Abraham's blessing. It's through the spiritual seed. If you're thinking you're coming in through your flesh seed because you are the flesh seed in the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're lost with the cause and without one. Because you ain't going in because you Israel and Judah. Let's back it on up a little bit. Now we got the tree with the branches on. We know who the root is. Oh, yeah, Those branches on that tree are the seeds of the Spirit. And those that are being grafted in are the seeds of the Spirit. That same root, you always hear them saying the root of David. David came in the same way Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob came in. And what way was that? Spirit. They were the spiritual seeds. And that's how Abraham's seeds shall be blessed through all nations. Through all nations, through the same spiritual seed, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and David, and all the other ones came through. Meaning, come through what? Every way until they get to the kingdom. They are already in there. They are written. So when you're running around here thinking that people are going to have to be grafted into Israel and Judah, you's a lie from the pit of hell. They are grafted in through Yah, through Yeshua, by Yah, through Yeshua HaMashiach, the spiritual seed. Oh, that are in and will enter into the kingdom. You came in through, though you were come in through Yeshua HaMashiach. Yeshua is the blood and Christ is the power that brought your stupid ass through. And you're running around here wanting people to believe people have to bow down to you. Y'all better stop that. People running around here, and this individual, so you can tell this individual just didn't have it. She saw that video I made, and she was just gone. Why? Because it's like saying that when I said that the lineage of Israel and Judah comes out of the father and not the mother. You see? So if the father is another nation, that is not Israel nor Judah. So if you have a father that's from another nation, that is not Israel and Judah. That is whoever that father come, whatever nation he come from. You cannot make him because he married or he would a Israelite woman. You can an Israelite woman with any other nation does not make that individual Israelites. No. Israelite is Israelite by blood. You can't let people come in by what? By the Spirit. People can't come in to Israel and Judah by Spirit, by blood. No. Now, if the father is Israelite and the mother is another nation, it goes by the father. But if the father is another nation and the mother is an Israelite, it goes by that father's nation of who that child is. But it don't matter which bloodline you come in and come out of, whether you Israel, Judah, Russian, German, you can still come in through Yeshua HaMashiach. Y'all ain't never told y'all the door was Israel and Judah. That's how foolish we are as a people. We're teaching people that the door is up. That's why they so high and mighty on all these platforms about Israel and Judah. Because they don't understand, baby, you just a bloodline. You better try to get in the spiritual bloodline while you running around here in the flesh bloodline, because that flesh blood ain't going to get you to the kingdom. It's the spiritual bloodline that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was in. They flesh bloodline didn't get them to the kingdom. It was their spiritual bloodline that got them through the kingdom. And that's the kingdom that you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to come into the same door all nations coming through. How you like me now? You're going to have to come through that same door. Don't you know Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob coming through the same door that we're coming through? Yes, they went through already, because they were spiritual seeds, which is a spiritual bloodline that comes back from the king, go back to the kingdom from which it comes, the bosom of the Father. The root, the trees, the branches, and the wild olive trees, all of them that's grafted in is coming in through the blood of Yeshua and the power of HaMashiach. All that trash y'all talking about don't mean nothing. Y'all need to stop lying to these people, and you ain't gonna stop, said the Most High Yah. You rumbling. These platforms that make you think you all that and some. Stop telling these people have to come in and through Israel and Judah. Judah and Israel is gonna barely make it. Didn't you hear him say that? Used to be like unto the sand of the sea and the stars in the skies. But he said the remnant is very small, Deborah, and they too cuckoo clock to realize it. Because they want to continue to teach people that this is the way to go. Now, I want y'all to understand the blessing of how Yeshua HaMashiach came. When Yeshua came down, he came down to be the blood sacrifice, but he brought something down with it. And the whole world today don't know that was the Father's power. His word and his spirit came down to assist the Son of Man, Yeshua. So that's why that same power that brought Yeshua down, when somebody might say, when Yeshua didn't have, oh, yes, he did. What's the ideal of dying? Sitting under in the tomb for 3 days. So that the power of the Father right hand that sat at that throne, at that tombstone, raised him up according to the Father's will. 3 days he came up. You think he came up because he's the Son of Man? No, he came up because the Son of Yah brought him up out of death. See, nobody don't think that. That's why I said when you're denying that power, which is Christ, HaMashiach, you done denied everything. You done denied everything. You way out in the deep open ocean. You definitely don't see dry land. And that's what people don't understand. They just living their lives thinking they serving the Most High Yah. You can't serve him without his power. You can't serve him without his power. Because if he's going to come in you, he's coming in you with all power. How you like that? So how you going to deny the power and say the power in you, but yet he is all power? So what are you talking about? Why do he have to be the law of the law? Because this is the mindset of men and women. Now, I want to answer that question about what they did back then as far as marrying in different nations versus today. And that's why people need to understand who was the Son of Man and who was the Son of Yah. Put them bad boys together after you understand them separate. Bring them back together as the Father's will. Okay? And it make sense. So when he came to really change The way he did, you all, he wasn't changing the world. That's what he was saying. I come not to change the laws nor the prophets. I ain't come to mess with that. I come to fulfill my Father's will. Okay? And if you all were fulfilling his will and keeping the law and keeping the commandments, then I wouldn't have had to come. So somewhere along the line, even though you running around here want to quote, he didn't come to change the law, the commandments and the law. He had to have come to change something. Because what's the purpose of him coming if you already had it all down packed down here? See, people don't think. So today, when you look at a marriage, Yah is saying the same thing he was explaining to me back then. If you go into a marriage, let's say if I married another nation, I have to first and foremost sit down before I marry this individual and allow him to get to know the God I serve. Break it down before marrying, getting together and uniting together and having children. No. We're gonna have to set the table right here. Let's come on here. Come on, baby. Here, sit here. Okay, now tell me what you believe in. I'm all ears on you, baby. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you believe in. Be able to not speak and hear. Slow to speak and quick to hear. Hear. When he finishes, you tell him who you believe in. If he don't have a belief or a religion or a Yah that he can serve, and you do, before y'all tie the knot, introduce him to your Yah. Introduce him to your Yah. And don't force him to know your Yah. Let him get to know your Yah at his pace. But don't tie no knot. And if the knot gonna be tied is when y'all see that this person have accepted Yeshua HaMashiach. And that individual have studied and understand the mission, the purpose, and desire to step into that same God that you serve. Now, that should be on the table when we first meet. So we'll have plenty of time to let him grow in learning about my Yah without me forcing him to. Vice versa. That's how the men should do. And if that individual have their God, hear them talk about their God and what they believe and what they understand. But make sure that God that you know is in the center of that table and let them know yours. Two gods in the household ain't gonna get it. That is not of Yah. That is a worldly marriage, a flesh marriage. And that's the type Yah don't have no dealings with. Yah does not have any dealings with marriages that don't have him on the top. Because that's the reason why he didn't want them to go into other marriages. He tells us all about it. He tells us all about it. Solomon would break it down to you if he could come back and tell you, but it's so much information that been left to where when the Ruach come to teach you, you can say, oh, Father, that's why you didn't want him having other nations. See, we want to make it look like Yah is such a, he has a prospective person. That's the way we want to make everybody think he is. He ain't like that, y'all. He ain't like that. Want me to tell you why he ain't like that? He's a spirit. So what do you think about him giving the rats behind about a flesh? He's a spirit, so he don't have no prospective person because he's a spirit. He know what he got invested in you and in each and every last one of us. You got to understand he the one gave Satan the seeds. So you think he don't know what seed he gave them? Y'all don't know him like that. And nobody wants to get to know him to be all that and some. No, we want to put him in the cookie jar. Like he don't know nothing, but we know everything. So this is the reason why, the only reason, and I thought that was beautiful. It's because to me, that's not a reason for no man nor no woman in Israel and Judah to be married to anyone that don't serve their Yah. Period. Now, if they serve your Yah, then you in there. But if they don't serve your Yah, and they can't serve your Yah because you serve your Yah, they got to serve your Yah because they love him as much as you love him yourself. Now, this topic we are about to talk about, anybody in the live chat or on this platform, I would suggest you take out this time to slither out as you slither in, because Sister Deborah finna get deep as deep can go. Okay, this is the Gospel of John, chapter 1. And all that time, I thought it was lit up in fierce. And now, this morning, along with everything else he was teaching me, he showed me why. And I said, but Father, I always said you sound like you sound like you stepped in the rim in that area of fierce, because the way it was said. And I couldn't understand why was it said that way. That was the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and 2. It doesn't make sense, y'all. But once you finish today, then you're gonna say, wow, now it makes sense why he repeated it like that. Not he as Yah, but he had the atmosphere to bring that energy to whoever spoke it, you see, to bring it out like that so somebody like me can get it. Because I've been saying that since I was like 18 years old. And why do you have to repeat it like that? Why do you have to make sure it's repeated like that? Why? It sounds fierce. I've been saying that since and it is. Now that he showed me what he showed me today, I said, ooh, we in trouble, Father. Y'all, we in trouble. We've been in trouble, y'all. All we've been doing is living in darkness and having a good time in it because we don't want nothing else. So we're going to go to the Gospel of John, and all the questions are going to you. So everything that I'm going to say is going to you and you only. That means anybody in the live chat, please get out. Please get out right now, because I'm going to tell you, snakes, your head is about to get crushed. Okay? Okay? So I will advise you to pull out now, like fast. Okay, let's go into the Gospel of John, chapter 1. The Gospel of John, chapter 1. Now, somebody, I'm gonna tell you something. I suggest don't say I didn't tell you. It's time to get out, because you're gonna be hurt. Okay, it's time to pull on out. Okay, let's go to the Gospel of John, chapter 1. With the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and chapter 2, I was really confused with that, because as a young teenager, I was 18 and 19. I couldn't understand why was that verse being repeated as if it wasn't said once. It confused me. So I'm just showing you, even back then, I was always before the Father asking questions. Okay. So in the Gospel of, and I'm going to put it out to you all, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But it's going to be fun at the same time. You're going to get so much spiritual food. You're going to say, now, wait a minute, Deborah, bye. I ain't coming back. I ain't coming back. No, you ain't going to do me like that. Okay? So that's how deep it's going to get. So in the Gospel of John, according to John, verse 1, it says, in the beginning, let me get my paper. Ooh, thank you, Father, y'all. I'm off my page. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. Who can tell me why did the Word get repeated 3 times why did the word get repeated 3 times and Yah get repeated twice in one verse? Anybody in the live chat? Why would you think that in the Gospel of John, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with Yah, and the word was Yah? Why would you think that that will be repeated like that? The word 3 times. Anybody? I know I ain't got nobody in the live chat, but I'm gonna wait and see if anybody wants to answer. It's not about, it's just we're about to have some fun. Okay. And in the beginning was the word. Okay, you said the word is the power. We somewhat, yeah. But why did it say it 3 times? And say Yah. And let me kind of help a little bit. And in that one verse, it talks about the word, the beginning word, with word, was word. And all of them was Yah. The beginning, with, and was. The word 3 times. Okay, we got someone in. Okay. John, the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 1. Foreshadowing the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay. Because the word is him. Very good. Very good. You that's a good one. That's good. That's really good. That's really good. Son and the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. Mystery of the Godhead. I like that. The mystery of the Godhead. I like that. That's good too. That's good. That's good too. That's good too. The beginning and the end. So, all of y'all, I'm saying that's good because that's how he wanted us to know through the Spirit those things that y'all are saying. Somewhere along the line, people are trying to separate the word from him. And he wants you to know, no, it was in the beginning. It was with me. It was me. And it was with me in the beginning. I am the word. And what do he mean by that? Okay. Let's say that when you answer your phone, is that your voice? Is that you talking? So when you say your voice and you talking, is you? Because that's you. Somebody say, hello, may I speak to Deborah? Okay. If they say, hello, may I speak to Deborah? Or I would say, I'm Deborah. That name is me. And I'm Deborah. So the words, I say, yes, that's me. So he wanted us to keep in mind that he is the word. Why? I believe somewhere along the line, in all these thousands of years, we keep missing the mystery. Like somebody said, the mystery. And the mystery is that when you need to learn to detach the word back to Yah and Yah back to the word. And in the beginning, the power poured up right along with her. And we missed the power in the beginning, you see? So how did we say we know this book? We read this book, we understand it, we know what it's saying, but we missed the power in it in Genesis 1. And if you missed the power in Genesis 1, you missed it all. So we missed his power. And in the Gospel of John, he's saying that I am the word, and the word is me. It was me, it was with me in the beginning, and it is with me. From the beginning, it's with me. And it was me. So he's sending a statement to all of us. Y'all can go around here and play with yourself if you want. I am the word. If you want to take this book and make it the word, keep on being stupid if you want. How could this book be me? If you can sit down and just a minute or two and just digest the fact that how many times this book been rewrote and written, and you're gonna make a paperback book me. Where's the power? Go to that book and bring out the power. See if that power can heal you. See if that power can deliver. See if the power can deliver you from this paperback book. I am the word. Tell me, can you tell y'all, each and every last one of y'all in the live chat, can you tell y'all yourself that this book been here longer than him? Well, wait a minute. If it's the word, how did it outlive the creator? And this is what he said in verse 1. Bro, sis, I'm the beginning. The word was with me. And the word is me. It was with me. So what are you trying to call me, a paperback book? So when he was showing me the 4 times he said the word, it's not telling you it's the book. He's trying to identify who he is and what the word is to him, because he is the word. Okay? Now, when you get to verse 2, here he go again. It's trying to send a spiritual message. In verse 2, it says, in verse 2, the same was in the beginning with Yah. Now, don't y'all say nothing, but watch this. When I was like 18 and 19, I said to him about verse 2, I said, well, wait a minute, didn't you say it already in verse 1? What's going on? You sound fierce. That's the way I felt it. See, because I don't read it like you all. When I'm reading, and reason why I'm saying it like that is because when he is allowing whoever wrote it, somewhere along the line, he's letting them feel his reaction to them placing anything regarding him and the word. Now look in verse 2. The same was in the beginning with him. But didn't you say it already? You see what I'm saying? It was already said. So why is it being said twice? Okay. No, not twice. A 4th time. To me, it just didn't sit. But when we finish getting off of this, it's going to blow your mind. Because in verse 2, where is the power punch word? There is a power punch word in verse 2. Who can see it? There is a power punch word in verse 2. Anybody see it? The power punch word in verse 2 is same. Is the word same. That's the only one you didn't see in verse 1. You seen was, and you seen the beginning, you seen with, but same, you didn't see that in verse 1. But he added the word, it was added, same was in the beginning with Yah. Y'all all that time in this verse was trying to get people to go back to the beginning and understand that he is the word. Why? Why would he do that? We way out in what you call, which they call the New Testament. Why is he's stressing this thing about the word and beginning and was and with? Because they missed it, y'all. They missed it in Genesis. They missed it in Genesis. How did they miss it? Anybody in the live chat? Yeah, it's the same or the beginning. The beginning is at the verse 1. In the beginning, And then he said it in verse 2. In the beginning, only word wasn't the same. Only word wasn't present in verse 1 was same. So same is the power punch word because it's actually sending you a message that, hey, I really desire y'all to check out verse 1 and get it, even if I had to repeat it the same way. That's what he did. He repeated it the same way. Okay? Now, yeah, he knew he knew it. He already, and it's you, and you can see that when the Ruach teaches you, you can see it. He'll show it to you. And you'll be saying, but how did we miss it all these thousands of years? Now, this is the key. Why was he talking like that in verse 1 of the Gospel of John? The Gospel of John stepped into what everybody called New Testament. But what was it he felt that he had to come like that? Why did Yah allow such a repeated word and him to come like that? You know why? They missed it in Genesis 1. What do you mean, Deborah? The word spoke and the power brought forth. That's why he kept saying in the beginning, y'all, it was with me. And it was me. The same was in the beginning, y'all. That's why he constantly telling y'all, Deborah, tell them take their tails back to the beginning. That's all he's saying to y'all. I'm the word that was in the beginning, that spoke and my power brought forth. I'm the word that created everything. Everything was created by my word. When I spoke it, my power brought it forth. I am the word. That's why people don't understand I am. I am carry a lot of power. It's letting you know I can be what I want and when I want. Yeah. But this is why he's breaking through. And honestly, that's why the Messiah came. The Messiah came to do some changing up. And that's why they so eager to keep you into the commandments and the laws of the flesh. Because they don't want you to dip in the commandment and the law and the spirit, because you might find out too much truth. Okay? That's why Yeshua said the time shall come, and the time is even now, and the time shall come when the true worshipers shall worship him in spirit and in truth. You see? That's why. Because even Yeshua knew that the true worshipers wasn't worshiping him at that time. He knew it. So now we're finna get in trouble here, y'all. Now we're going into verse 3. All things were made by him. Who is him? All things were made by him. Now I'm gonna show y'all where, and I'm sorry, Father. I am so sorry if I'm not making it clear. I can feel it in my spirit. First and foremost, I try to get you all to understand verse 1 and verse 2. And how I tried to get you to see it is where he kept saying the beginning. The word was. The word was with. The same in the beginning. What Yah said for me to say to you all was you need to get your butts back to the beginning. Okay? Because that holds the keys. Okay? Get back to the beginning. So when you see the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and chapter 2, that's what that was all about. Repeating himself, because he's trying to get you to understand the beginning, y'all, is where it's at. That's all he said. Go back to the beginning. Do you think I'm sitting here saying beginning? The word. It's with me. It was me. It is me. You think he said he wanted that to be repeated like that for nothing? He wanted you to get it. He wants you to get it. Okay? Now, verse 3. All things were made by him. Who is him? Who is him? We're looking at the word made, okay? And then the word by him. We got to get to who is him. Anybody in the live chat? Who is him? Thank you. You're right. The Father. Thank you. Thank you so much. Because it makes me allow me. Yeah. Very good. It allowed me to move to the next. Okay. So in 3, all things were made by the Father. Yah. You see? So he wants you to get it. That's why he was telling you. Why is he talking about all things were made? Because he wants you to connect to the beginning, y'all. He's actually sending you back to the beginning. And when you get there, he wants you to know, Yah, the Father, created all these things. Okay? So this is why you see it in Gospel of John. No one would tell you all that he's trying to lead you right to the beginning. Okay? And he says, and then he turned around, and without him was not anything made that was made. What do you see in verse 3? What do y'all see in verse 3? He's speaking loud and clear, especially through my spirit. I can feel it. Equals Yah, Heavenly Father. Right. Him equals Yah, Heavenly Father. Right. That's right. Verse 3, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Without his power. In verse 3, he's sending a sign. Verse 3. See, no matter how they change things and move things and put it from Hebrew to English, one thing they can't move is the power of his spirit when he's teaching. When he's in your ruach, when he come and abide in your spirit, he gonna teach you the truth of the whole matter. He don't care if it's in baby talk. He don't care. He gonna get you. When he teach you, you gonna know it. All things, right? But look at 3. Look at 3. He's telling you about the one that was in 1 and 2 that's insist on wanting everybody to know. Wanting everybody to know. And you almost got it when you said without his power. But you got to see what he's talking about. With the breath of his spirit, he made all things. No, Verse 3. That's why I was saying this is a really deep, because I'm taking you all to a spiritual realm and not a natural. Even though I'm using this book, I'm still taking you to a spiritual realm, and it's hard to get to a spiritual realm if you're looking at a book that's natural. You get what I'm saying? But that's what I'm taking it to, because I'm trying to take you to where he wants you to go in this, because it's going to get deep. Okay? In verse 3, it says, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Here I go again. Why you keep repeating that stuff? They don't get it? No, Deborah, they don't. They don't get it. Look at the word made. M-A-D-E. Look at the word in verse 3. You see it 3 times. He's making himself known. He's making himself known. Remember I said you could have almost got it when you said without his power, with power alone. He's letting you know, and I made it. My word, who I am, and my power. That's what he's saying right here in verse 1, 2, and 3. You see how you see in verse 3? Do you all see the 3? I don't know if you all made equal God here. Made equals the power. Without the power, his hand nothing is made. Exactly. And that's what he said. So why would you think, wait a minute, why are you talking about the beginning, Father, in John 1? Why would you think Yah want to reveal John 1 to you all? Because something and everything was missed in Genesis 1. What was happening in Genesis 1? The word, Yah, he spoke the word, Yah spoke the word, and he made all things. You get it? Now, do that make sense? Yah spoke the word in John 1, 2, and he made all things by his word. You see? Genesis 1, let, that was him. And he said, let to the power. Let it be this, and the power brought it forth. Let it be this, and the power brought it forth. Let it be this, and the power brought it forth. The word spoke, and the power brought it forth. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, 2, and 3. Is showing you the mighty hand, the mighty work of Yah in his threeness of his word, his power, and who he is, the Father. Woo, Father, I don't think they're going to get this, Father, Yah. That right there done enough for me. Right there, that done enough for me. You all, I don't think y'all ready for this because it gets deeper than deep. It's going to make you realize you ain't known nothing. So we only got in the Gospel of John to verse 1 and 2 and 3. Somewhere along the line, I don't know if you're going to get any of them. Well, let's see. Let's have fun. Okay? Now we in 4. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 4. In him was life. Okay? Who is him? Who is him? See, it's taking y'all too long. Come on, y'all, somebody. Oh, wait a minute. Right. Yah, the Father. In him was life. Now, what was that life? It was in him. What was that life? Verse 4. In him, speaking of the Father, was life. What was the life? Okay. Oh my goodness, Father, Yah, what I'm going to do with this here word. What I'm going to do with it. We're going to have a good time tonight, y'all. The Gospel of John, chapter 4. In him was life. Now we know that him represents the Father, Yah. What was life? Someone says his son, someone says creation, someone says spirit, and someone says light. Okay, I'm gonna pull in, okay, y'all. I'm gonna go on. In him, the Father, was life. Life was and is the breath and spirit. The breath and spirit. It comes hand in hand. The breath and the spirit. When you have a baby and it comes from the seed of the man, the woman gets it. She incubate it for 9 months. She bring it forth and y'all picks it from there. With what? Breath and spirit. See, when he breathed the breath, he give every, I'm going too far because he's going to break it down in the later verses. He give everybody a spirit, and it's called a L-I-G-H-T. Okay? It's called a L-I-G-H-T. That is what makes up life. Okay? 99.9 of people in the world don't know that. That breath of life that Yah blows in us is made up of his breath and a spirit. And the spirit is likened to him, a spirit. Is it him? No, it's just got the image likened to him. Remember, he said, let us make man in our image and in our likeness, because he himself is a spirit, which is also likened to a light. If you could see him today, your eyes probably would burn. Burn out. You wouldn't ever be able to see again. That's how bright, that's how a light he is. When we tell you how bright he is, likened to a L-I-G-H-T, but the L has to be capital. The reason why it's so bright is, guess what? The stars, the moon, the sun has to fall down to the ground if he comes to the heavens, to the sky. They have to fall down. Why? They have to bow down. He is the ultimate light. He don't need them. That's how powerful his light is. Now, in him was life. The life was to give you and I a breath that takes on, when he blow it in, it comes into us and gives us his image of a spirit. Now we have his breath and a light, which is a spirit. Yah is a spirit, but it is like unto a light. Okay, now watch this here. And it says in verse 4, and the life, that ideal in Yah, that whole ideal of life, the life was the light of man. There it is. He's letting you know that in him, he said, in him was life, the breath and the spirit, which is a light. Okay? And the life was the light. You see the lowercase light? The lowercase light is of men. Yah is the capital L-I-G-H-T, and man, and our light, our spirit is the lowercase L-I-G-H-T, a light. Okay? But notice where he gave the light to. Who did he give the light to? Come on now, y'all. Now he gave the breath and his image to who? Anybody? Who is he giving it? Right. Very good. Thank you. To men. Now, is he talking about one? One man? Is he talking about one? Or he talking about many? Look what it says, M-E-N. Actually, he's really teaching you how he started it in the beginning so we can understand. And you all might not know it. He's really bumping you into Genesis 1 without you going back and getting it. Okay? Someone says one. Someone says men. So M-E-N, does that mean one? It means many, right? Exactly. It means many. Because the plan in the kingdom was to put the seeds in the men. You see? The whole plan was to put the seeds of life into men. Into them. Okay? So you see he did that. In verse 4, he's telling you, Deborah, this is what I did. I am a spirit. Okay? And I have the breath that I have planned to give to every human being, a spirit, and the breath is going to be blown and they're going to receive a spirit, which is also considered a light. A lot of people call a spirit a light because a lot of people tell you they see the spirit, it looks like a light. Okay? So in verse 4, the key word in verse 4 is two power punch words in verse 4, and that is the gift of Yah was to give life until our men. So they carry all the seeds, y'all. You hear that, women? The men carry all of our lives in them. That's what we should have learned. It's in him. That's why you notice in Genesis 1, he created everything, but when it got written, he spoke everything with the word, but when it got down to creating, he made him first before he made her, because he had to make him, because he wanted us to understand that every human being coming from him, from man, not from her. So he had to hold her off and just create him, because he was the one that was bringing in the life that was in Yah. You see? By giving him the light in the man. He gave it in Adam, but he gave it, it's in all men. Okay? That's why they have thousands of sperms and not one. Okay? So here it says, so you see where he gave that light to. And you're going to see where everybody end up with that same light. He wants you to understand where he started it off so everyone can understand all the seeds goes in the womb of a man. Okay? Now, here we go now, y'all. Here we go. Now, don't forget now that life was to give man the seeds that's going to be connected to the breath and the what? The image, which is a spirit. But he wants us to understand it starts in man. He already told us. Okay? That's the purpose of Adam being created by himself and first. See, I felt that all men on the face of the earth should understand or understood the creation of Yah for a man. And had they knew that, okay, he created us first because he put all the seeds in us. That means every human being come from out of him. You see? So a lot of times they don't understand why he's holding them with the crown on their head, telling them you're supposed to be like this. It's because all of it's coming out of you. And when he got Adam and sat him in the garden, what did he say? Wait a minute, this ain't good. That he be alone. Why? Because his will to bring in creation had to come from man to woman, and then given all the hour, the day, the second of birth, life. But it has to come from man to woman, and then bring in the day and the hour that the Father bring forth that life. Give that baby, because he's living. That baby is living on mom. Breath of life. You see what I'm saying? But when they come out, then this is what comes from Yah. But before Yah can give them anything, he's trusting man to keep it. You see? If it's in man, the Father got the day it come in and the day it go out. See, a lot of us think it's in our power and our control. No, it ain't. He got the day they come in and the day they go out. The Father does. So you see how he is really in full control of what's going on from the seed of the man to the woman and to bring it into life. You see? He has it still all in his power, in his control. So one won't think that they carry all the power and authority. That's why when you see parents fighting over their children, they don't even understand. Baby, ain't wait a minute, woman, that ain't yours. That came from that man. Who told you that was yours? Yes, you shared your blood. You shared food and oxygen and your breath. But when that baby come out, he gonna have his own. But everything that child is going to be made up of is still going to be their father. Yeah, you can bring them up and train them up and bring them up until they're 18. They're going to understand your law, your way, which is called your law, the way you brought them up and this. But who they are from their daddy womb, that comes up and tell your order, and what you say and what you think stand down. Because who they are overrides who you brought them up to be. Woo, Father, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get them in trouble. Woo. And here today, the women don't understand what's going on. Because you don't know how the protocol of creation. Because nobody never told anybody. No one never said, told them. And here today, they don't know nothing about. The women, we are the seed. We came. Wait a minute. You mean that woman I'm hating on? Me brought them in. You're gonna be held liable for them too. That's what they don't understand. Now let's stay into this here. Now we get to verse 5. Now we're in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 5. And the light shineth. Anybody? What is being said? What is the Spirit of the Most High Yah want you all to understand in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 5? And the light shineth. What do he mean? And I felt sad when I read it like that, y'all. I really did. I kind of felt really sad about that. I felt really sad. In the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 5, and the light shineth. You know what the Father was saying? The way he's saying, Deborah, the way I have orchestrated it from the kingdom, it's shining. It's real. He's letting you know your spirit shining. It's functioning. That's what y'all want you to know. Listen, look, y'all, in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, and the light shineth. The light shineth. So he wants you to understand your spirit is working. It's live. It shineth. It shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehend it not. Anybody in the live chat, what is it saying? The light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehend it not. Anybody speak on that. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5. Honestly, what I'm learning, and don't think I'm not learning while I'm talking, y'all. What I'm learning is the Father is taking y'all back to Genesis from the beginning, telling y'all how it all came forth. And I think that's beautiful. That's all it seems like it's saying to me right now. Now, it wasn't saying to me that this morning because there's too much good stuff coming on. But look in verse 5. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehend it not. So what is he saying? Okay, someone says the darkness cannot understand his light. Okay. The flesh cannot comprehend the light. Okay. Very good. That's it. He didn't answer it. When the light shineth in darkness, darkness has to flee. No. He got it. The flesh cannot comprehend the light. But who is the light? You're right. You're 100. The flesh cannot comprehend the light. Who would come and tell somebody that outside of the Father? Who would come and tell? You think John telling you that? John can't tell you that. So you got to be able to understand where you at right now. What you are hearing right now. John can't tell you that. But the Ruach can. No. Oh my goodness. Come on, y'all. Come on. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is funny. And declare the end from the beginning and the beginning. No, you guys. Someone said the light is the Ruach. Someone says that the Most High Yah is the light. Someone says the Ruach is my best friend. Father Yah. This is just off the chain. The darkness, thank you for bringing it back into the topic. The darkness cannot understand anything of the spirit. The spirit. Okay, y'all kind of getting it there. Now listen to this. Now listen now, you guys. In verse 5, okay, it says in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, the light shineth. What the Father is trying to say, you see the light is a lowercase. It's letting you know that your spirit is active. It's shining. But your flesh refuse to comprehend it. That's exactly what we're doing right here on this platform. Our flesh will not let us understand our spirit that is within. I'm not talking about Yah's spirit. You're going to see Yah's spirit in here. I'm talking about your own spirit. Your own spirit. Verse 5 is speaking of your own spirit. The lowercase light is your spirit. And Yah is trying to get you to understand that it shineth. That your spirit shineth, but your flesh cannot and will not comprehend it. So that's showing you the fight between the flesh and the spirit right there. The flesh is not going to comprehend your spirit because it want to rule you to hell. It want to get you to think the way it wants to get you to think, so you can go to a place based on all the things it's getting you to think, and the way you think, the way you do things, the way you act, the way your heart is, everything in you, wicked and evil, is in your flesh. But the flesh knows that there is a spirit, which is a light in you. And it will not, and it don't want to comprehend that you have another being. Why? Because the flesh knows that light that's in you is your own spirit. And that's the only thing that's going to stand before the throne for judgment. And not the flesh that won't comprehend that your spirit is at full activate. It's full active. That's why he said, but Deborah, the light shining. I said, Father, you make it sound like so sad. And it is. Look at how I'm having to tell you all that you got a spirit. It's called a light. And you all don't know nothing about it. It is sad. And when the Father had been teaching me this part right here years ago, I mean, maybe 20 years ago, but still, I'm just still saying it was sad when he showed it to me, because I'm like saying, so you saying that you gave every human being a spirit. And because their spirit is inside their body of their flesh, they flesh don't comprehend that their spirit exists, even though their spirit is fully activated to the point where the Most High wants you all to know it shining. That's what he's saying, Deborah. The light shining. Y'all don't get that? Y'all don't get when it says the light shining. That's sad, because it's saying that, see, I made it work. I gave them my image. That spirit in them, Deborah, is shining. It's working. But they flesh won't comprehend it. If y'all can't get that, y'all can't get it. Now, that just as plain can be. We calling this light everything outside of what he told man he was giving him. A spirit. A light. It cannot be Yah's light. He's capital light. And when did Yah light not conquer darkness? So it can't be his light. It's your spirit, which is called a light. And your flesh won't let you comprehend it. That's where we at right now, y'all. We're on this devil platform right today, right now, this second, this minute. And your flesh will not let you comprehend that light that he says shining is your own spirit. Now, does that make any sense? And you having a hard time with something as simple as verse 5, the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. But what got me and hurt me is that the Father was teaching me this, and he was saying, see, Deborah, this is how he said it. See, Deborah, the light shineth. I said, oh, that's how I still can remember how I react. Because in a sense, he said, see, what I gave them, that was what I gave you, that's my image, Deborah, in you. It's words, it's shining. But the darkness, your flesh won't comprehend it. That's all he's saying, y'all. That's how simple it is. That's just how simple. But what it does is it's mess you up and mess you down, because now it keeps you lost. Because it's saying that your flesh won't comprehend it. That's actually showing you how your flesh is your enemy. That's why you ain't getting it. Because you wouldn't say that your flesh is your enemy. But when you understand your biggest enemy, your greatest enemy, and your main enemy is your flesh. And that's all he said. The spirit I gave you, that's like my image, it's shining, it's working. But your flesh won't even comprehend it. Here we go. The Gospel of John, verse 6. There was a man sent from Yah, whose name was John. Now, was he sent? Was John sent from Yeshua, or was he sent from the Father? Verse 6. Was he sent from Yeshua, or was he sent from Yah? Verse 6. There was a man sent from Yah, whose name was John. That's John the Baptist. Right. Very good. It was the Father. It's the Father, Yah. Very good. Now the next one. Very good. It was the Father. Now watch this here. The same in verse 7. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light. Now, who came? It says the same came to bear witness. What does it mean? The same came to bear witness. The same came to bear witness. The same came to bear witness. Let's go back to 6. Let's go back to 6. There was a man sent from Yah, whose name was John the Baptist. Okay. Now we just went next. The next verse says, the same came for a witness. What do they mean? The same came for a witness. What do they mean? The same came for a witness. And this, what happens is, if let's go back to 6. The verse 6 says, there was a man sent from Yah, whose name was John the Baptist. Okay. Verse 7. The word same is talking about, thank you, baby. Thank you. I didn't think I was going to be able to move from that. Thank you, John. The answer rests in verse 6. And then he came to 7 and said the same one, which was John, right, came for a witness. John came for a witness to bear witness of the light. Break that down. And I know you can't, y'all. I know y'all can't. Don't think Sister Deborah is trying to think that y'all should do it. I know you don't do it. I know you don't do it. I just want to have a little fun. Can we have a little fun? Don't beat the little old lady up, okay? She ain't got no sense. Didn't I tell you I didn't have no sense? So you can't beat me up if I told you ahead of time. I ain't got no sense. Okay, don't take it serious. I just want to have a little fun. John the Baptist came to bear witness of Yeshua. Okay? Bear witness of the Father, because he is the light. Very good. Very good. Very good. Woo-wee, that feels good. Exactly. John the Baptist came to bear witness. John the Baptist came to bear witness of the light. Remember, we got his image, so that made us what? Lowercase light. And he is the what? The Father. He's the capital light. Who image did he give us? The image in Genesis 1, verse 26. Let us make man in our image. And our image is a spirit, a light. So when you see here that John the Baptist, his whole mission was to come to bear witness of the what? The light. The light, that all men through him might believe. You see that word believe? There go one of the brands. There go one of the brands. Letting you know through the belief stepped up, belief pulled up. And you got to get away from the belief of the flesh and bring it in the realm of the belief of the spirit. Okay? So John the Baptist come to bear witness of the Father. And it says that all men, you hear that? All men through him might believe. Now, when you see it saying all men, it's talking about males. Okay? It's talking about males. Why? Because just because men took their crown off in the beginning, don't mean the Father has to stand down. He mean what he say, and he said what he mean. When he created man first and put all of the seeds in him, he was to what? Be the head in the house, first and foremost, the one to teach the household righteous. That's where he says, train up a child in the way he should go. He was talking to men, not women. Why? Because the children come out of him. Why would he give the responsibility to her when it comes out of him? You see, y'all kept his T's crossed and his I's dotted. We just want to live the way we want to live and teach it and preach it and go by it the way we want to. That's on us. But we finna get in this, and it's going to get deep. John the Baptist came bearing witness the truth. Okay, so here it is in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 7. The same came for a witness. The same one was John, to bear witness of the light. So John come to bear witness of the light, okay? And the light that all men through him might believe, okay? Might believe. There go the brand. Y'all got 4 brands in the kingdom that he bring his with before they get down to the earth. Righteous, belief, faith, and fear. It's already branded in them. Romans chapter 1 and verse 18, 19, 20, and 21 says what? It's already in them because I put it in them to know. It's already in them. So they ain't got, it says in Romans, so they are without any excuse. You see? So this is where you know that in verse 7 is very deep, y'all. Verse 7 is so deep, it's finna lose each and every last one of you. You're about to get lost in this one. Now, we as individuals really believed that the connection to John the Baptist and Yeshua HaMashiach was that John the Baptist was preparing the way for Yeshua HaMashiach. Would you all say that? John the Baptist was said to come to prepare the way. The Gospel of John in chapter 1 and verse 7, it says that John the Baptist came to bear witness of the light. Okay, so what is going on with John the Baptist bearing witness of Yeshua HaMashiach? What is actually going on? Yeah, what is going on? Okay, yes, good. What is actually happening where John the Baptist see Yeshua HaMashiach coming and he's bearing witness of the light. He's already told him. How did he bear witness of the light? He said there's one he baptized. How did John baptize? How did John bear witness of the light? How did he bear witness of the light? He prophesied. Right, exactly. Let me see. Of the Father, the light. Exactly. That's what John was bearing witness of. Where did he do that? Let me show you. I'm going to have to say it because I know you ain't going to get it. John the Baptist says, how did John the Baptist bear witness? John came baptizing by water. But John the Baptist bear witness that there is one that's coming to baptize you by the Holy Spirit and by fire. All right? Okay? Now, we know that, wait a minute now, we know that the Son of Man and the Son of God, and the Son of Yah came as one entity. Which one was John bearing witness of? Oh, Father, yeah. Oh, I'm going to be in trouble. And I'm going to be in trouble. The Most High going to get me tonight. I ain't going to be able to sleep, y'all. He going to get on me tonight. I'm in trouble. John the Baptist come to bear witness of the light. When we was thinking that John come to prepare the way for Yeshua HaMashiach. But what was John coming to bear witness of? Thank you. He said, didn't he say one coming? He's coming that's mightier than him. So he's letting you know that some type of power is coming that's mightier than him. And I see somebody on here says the power. You're right. Yes, the Holy Spirit and fire. Yes. Christ. Yes. That's what John was coming to bear witness, was Christ. It wasn't Yeshua. It wasn't Yeshua. Praise. It was Christ, HaMashiach. Because John knew. Wait a minute, Deborah. I knew him in the kingdom. He the one sent me down here. That's what John the Baptist. Now, John, the Gospel of John is saying the same came for a witness. He was sent from who? God. Yah. See, John the Baptist was sent from Yah. So he knew Yah, but he didn't know the Son of Man. He knew Christ, but he didn't know the Son of Man. So he come to bear witness to the part that was the Son of Yah. You see, he come to bear witness to the one, the part of Yeshua, which was Christ, which is the power, which is the word, which is the spirit of the life. That's what John was coming to do. You heard it in Gospel of John. He is being broke down kind of on a spiritual level, because it's saying that in verse 6, there was a man that was sent from Yah. So whose name was John. And this same came for a witness. So his mission was to be a witness, okay? To prepare the way for what? The light that was coming, to bear witness of the light that all men through him might believe. Where did we miss it, y'all? One word. Oh, Father, you did it to me, didn't you? You did it to me. You did it to me. You did it to me. You did it when I wasn't looking. I wasn't paying attention, Father. Yeah, you did it to me. What was John the Baptist's mission? We see it in the Gospel of John, verse 6 and 7. John came to prepare the way for the power for Christ, HaMashiach, the Son of Yah. There you go. Somebody got it? You got it? Yeah. That's what he was bearing witness. That's why he said, shoes I cannot lace. That's why why do y'all think he was worried about baptizing? Because he was like, wait a minute now. I know you who sent me, but him I know not. That's why he was weary about baptizing. He said, well, I don't need to be baptizing you, because he knew his mission was to bring down to the people as a witness that there's one coming greater than I. And he's going to baptize you with the what? The Holy Spirit. We know the Holy Spirit is Yah. And if there's fire to back up that Holy Spirit, we know that's Yah. That's not the Son of Man. And the Father wants me to say to you all this. What I just broke down to you all is the same reason he says if they miss Genesis, Deborah, they have missed the whole book. The Father says in Genesis chapter 1 is where Christ resides. In Genesis chapter 1, you see where he said, let us, that was Christ. That was his right hand, his stretched out arm. That was his power. We missed his power then. Even though he backed it up again through the Gospel of John, we missed it then too. So throughout times, Yah always kept us informed. It's just something about us. It's just something about us ain't right, y'all. It's just something about us. I was saying it to the Father going to the store. I said, but Father, it just something just ain't right about us as people. It's something wrong. It's something wrong where nobody getting it. It's something wrong somewhere. But it ain't something that he don't know about. So here it is. The whole world think that Yeshua not Yeshua, that John the Baptist is coming to prepare the way for Yeshua, the Son of Man. And because the Son of Man was assigned the Son of Yah with him, you can add him, but to really want to see the truth of the matter or to see the power of Yah, you got to be able to see what John was saying, because John said, I know him, but I don't know this one. So let me give you the mystery of it. You remember when John was in the prison? You remember he was in prison. He already knew that when he was the witness of the power coming. And once the power has come, he knew that that was his mission completed. John the Baptist in the prison knew that when the power come, that I knew in the kingdom, the power from the kingdom that I knew I was of, who sent me, once that power is on the earth, it's time for me to decrease, because it's time for the power to increase. John knew that. John knew that. He was in prison sending his disciples. Go ask him. Are you the one, or should we look for another? Woo, Father, yeah. Are you the one, or should we look for another? The disciples went. John the Baptist's disciples went back to Yeshua and told them what John the Baptist said. And what did Yeshua say unto him? Tell him the lame is walking, the blind is seeing. There go the power. Because John knew when his mission was told fully, he fully understand his mission. He said, now I know him because I know him before. But this one I know not. He was talking about Yeshua. But he knew Christ, but he didn't know Yeshua. People today don't understand. They didn't have a problem with Yeshua until he said he was Christ. Hey, no, you ain't gonna pull up on this land. You can be the Son of Man, but you ain't gonna pull up and say you the power. So when John the Baptist disciples came to him to the prison, they told him, well, okay, we're going to tell you what we're seeing. We seen the blind eyes open, the deaf hearing, and that's all John needed. He knew that the mission from the kingdom told him before he got down here, when the power comes, you decrease and it increase. So John knew, I'm in prison. It's ended for me, y'all. It's time to decrease. Beautiful. Beautiful. Because John said, ain't my time until I see the power, till I know that the power is on the earth. Ooh-wee. Deborah, that was my mission, to prepare the power on the earth. The power sat in that tomb, raised that dead body of Yeshua after 3 days. That was the power. Did not Yeshua use that same power to raise up, what was his name, Elijah? Come on now. Raise the dead. That's the same power John the Baptist come to bear witness of. And he's saying in the prison, go find out. And you say unto Yeshua, the Son of Man, are you the one, or should we look for another? Because he knew we got to see that power. And the Father is saying to you all today, you missed it. You missed the whole thing. 2024, you ain't even detached his power to his word, to who he is. And that's why you got so many different beliefs and so many teaching and so many of everything going on in the world, because we have forsaken the power. And even John the Baptist knew that. So here we go. Here we are in the Gospel of John, chapter 1. Now we pull up into verse 9. Now, here's the blessing to each and every last one of you all. Now we know that John was the one that was the witness of Christ, the power. And verse 8, it says, no, in verse 8, it says, he was not the light. John the Baptist wasn't the light, but he was sent to bear witness of that light, which was Christ. Okay. Verse 9, that was the true light. You see how we missed it, y'all? The Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 9. You see how we missed that? The true light was Christ. The true light was Christ. The true light was Christ. Yeshua was the Son of Man. He was the lamb for the sacrifice. But we missed the Christ that came down with him, that was called Emmanuel, Yah with us. And you're going to understand that a little bit better right here. Now watch this here. So here it is in verse 9. That was the true light, which lit every man that come into the world. Now you tell me ain't something wrong with y'all when you don't know that the light of the Father was given unto you. Every man, woman, boy, and girl that come into the world, male and female, they came in with the breath and with the light. That is, the light is a spirit. The spirit is like unto the spirit of Yah, his image. And do you know 99.9 run around here calling it a soul? Roman Catholic put that in there to confuse you so you would never know what I'm telling you today. Yah said the image, Deborah, the light is my breath and a spirit to give unto every, verse 9, that was the true light which lit it. He lit it, every last one of our spirits. Every man that cometh, man mean every male and female that cometh into the world. Not babies dead and not born. They don't get the light. They don't get lit. So understand, nope, abortions, none of them get lit. Mess you up, didn't I? I mess you up, didn't I? He said, come into the world, not be in your mother's womb. See, that's what I'm saying to y'all. Verse 9. That was the true light that lit it. Every man, male and female, that cometh unto the world. So if you don't come into the world, you don't have no lit light. Let me explain something to y'all, because he's telling me, he's talking to me now while I'm saying it. He said, tell them, if I am the key to life and death, anybody in the live chat, who can pluck life and death out of his hand? Who can take life out of his hand? Come on now, somebody talk to me. Talk to me. If y'all sick to think that the Father holds the key to life and death, and anybody can walk up and take it out of his hand, you sicker than sick. I wouldn't suggest nobody to go out and get an abortion. I wouldn't suggest that. That's not nice. That's not good. That's wrong. But I say unto you, how can a woman have the power to snatch life out of the hand of Yah? Getting an abortion, period. He holds the key to come in and to come out. How does she get it? How does she get the power over it if he holds it? She don't have the power, y'all. It's just our mindset has believed so many lies, so we can't just see wrong for wrong and right for right. We got to add to it and make it this and this, and then to the point it all of it become a lie. Let's go there. I'm gonna go and take you there. Here go a man. He got all the seeds. He decided to masturbate. He masturbating all the seeds away. So he's killing all the seeds that is spoken in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 4. He's killing them all just by masturbating. You see what I'm saying? He's taking life from those seeds that is to be placed into woman. Can she have all those children? No. But masturbating caused them to what? Not enter into a woman, but to be wasted. That's why you have to, when you really talking, make it make sense. Now you got to think now. I just did a study early this morning on where the sperms are held. And do y'all know it's got a private place in a man, scrotum, a private little area near his intestines where they sit and wait. I was like, what? You see what I'm saying? We as people have lied on the Father for so long, we won't even tell the truth on nothing. I see why he said he come to teach us all things. I thank him. I thank him for being a teacher of all things and come to teach all things. Because if you standing around and listen to people, you just be just. So here in verse 9, it identified to each and every last one of you all that the Father said he is the light, the capital L-I-G-H-T. I don't know if y'all got your Bible open. The Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 9, that was the true light. The true light is the Father, which lit every man that cometh into the world. You don't come in the world until you're born and you receive the breath of life. That's coming to the world. That's why you see the word world, not coming to your mother's womb. You're not even lit in your mother's womb. You living off of her life. You see what I'm saying? So here in verse 9, he's showing you that every male and female child coming to the world, the light itself has to lit them once they come into the world, not when they in their mother's womb. What people telling y'all, that's what these doctors, anybody that tells y'all believe it. But you don't ever wait for the Ruach to be the true teacher. He said he'll teach you everything. And I like that. You know why? Because he didn't just say the things just spirit. I teach you everything you want to know. Just put that trust in me and I'll show you, honey. I'll teach you. And yes, he will. I'm a living witness. Okay, so verse, let me make sure that 9. The true light. So the true light is the Father. And you see the word lit it. Lit it. It's letting you know you don't get lit it until you come into the world. You can't get lit in your mother's womb because you are using her breath of life. All right. So verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him. Who are they talking about? Anybody in the live chat? Anybody in the live chat? Yes. And look, and I don't know why you said on their hands. You ain't know. That's why you cried. You ought to quit. Stop. Okay, verse 10. He was in the world and the world was made by him. Now, who is that? I'm sorry, Father, that it's like that. I do. I think of stuff like this here. I really do, y'all. Because that there makes me really sad. Anyone know have that answer? The Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. Who was in the world? Who is he that was in the world? I'm gonna wait. Because it's gonna get powerful, y'all. It's gonna make you think totally different when we finish. Totally different. Okay. Nope. Okay, good. Hamashiach. There you go. Very good. The power they knew not of Hamashiach. Very good. Y'all got that. Okay. I'm scared of y'all. Woo-wee. Yeah, Christ. That's right. Christ is Hamashiach. Yeah, y'all got. Ooh, well, y'all might not have a hard time with this then, huh? Watch this then. He was in the world, and the world was made by him. That's the power, which is who? Hamashiach, Christ, right? Watch this here. And the world knew him not. Didn't I tell y'all? Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Let us. That was him all the time. That was him all the time. You see? Now, look at it coming back in this. I thought it was some sort of connection to Genesis 1. Because I'm like saying, but Father, you give me all this, and this kind of leads up into Genesis 1. And it does. That go right back to that power. He said, if they missed Genesis 1, Deborah, they'd have missed the whole book. But then you come back to the Gospel of John, past the half of the book, and there it is again, breaking it down like it is in the beginning. And that's why it's in the beginning, the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 2, it says, chapter 1 and verse 1 and 2, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with him. He's checking you, letting you know. Baby, this was in the beginning. Y'all should have known it. Y'all should have got it then. All right? And they didn't know the power. No, they didn't. You're right, baby. They didn't know it. You see? And everybody keep on trying to put Yeshua in the place of him. You cannot do that. You got to learn the both separate, and then you put them bad boys together for the work of the Most High God. But don't dare belittle the Father, because all you think you know is the Son. Don't go there. And the Son did such an awesome job letting Sister Deborah know. Deborah, he the Father. I'm just a son. Every word he said connects him to a different entity greater than him. And we missed it. We missed it. That's why I sit back and I see millions of pastors, churches and pastors still teaching that nonsense, but they teaching it out of the, I would say, hate, which is intimacy, that he separate the seeds. They would have to, because they cannot be the spiritual seeds teaching a lie. Y'all don't get it, do you? I know y'all don't. That makes a lot of sense. How you gonna be the spiritual seeds teaching a lie? I love that. She said they didn't know the power. I like that because they didn't. So in verse 10, he said, he was in the world, and the world was made by him. He said, Deborah, I made everything. I was even in the world. And what? In the world knew him not. They didn't know him. Remember in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26? That's who he was. He was the power always. So let me explain something to you. So this is why Sister Deborah says, if you have the Ruach, you have the power. And this is why you don't see the power in the world, because the world knew him not. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't that make sense? The reason why you don't see the power being activated in the world, but you see the evil growing 98% is because the power. They have not stuck with the power, or see the power, or know the power. He said it himself. Deborah ain't making nobody alive. This is what he wants us to understand. He was in the world, and the world knew him not. He came down with Yeshua. He was the power. He was the word. He was the spirit. It came down. That's why he told him, sit your butt right here on the right-hand side until I make this earth your footstool. That was the power. That was Yah himself. See? But we don't see it like that. And we allow everybody to be on this devil platform teaching and preaching. It ain't that we allow them. But I think lies get fed by people. People can't really tell the lies if they're not feeding them to those who are hearing the lies. I don't know if that makes sense, but they still don't know. Exactly. You're right. They don't. And that's the only part I be saying when I said it makes me a little sad. But the Father said, for what? My will gonna still get done. But it's still sad. I tell the Father all the time, it's still sad me being human down here and realize they still don't get it. That's why it's not good for you all to listen to people. Don't listen to nobody. Don't even listen to Sister Deborah. Listen to that quiet voice that teach you and preach to you and show you things. Because he's gonna be the one to tell you the truth of the whole matter. Study to show themselves approved. That's right. And when they study, he just wants them to study. Because if you show yourself you can study, then you can go to a level where you wait for me and I come and I be your teacher and give you things you can't even study. But see, they don't want to do that. They just want to take it and take the whole idea of study. See, even when he says study to show yourself approved, that's what the whole world is doing and have done. They feel they have studied enough to prove that they are pastor, leaders, bishops, teachers, Maureen, seers, watchmen, apostle, prophets, prophetess, priests. This is what made them think that, because they have studied themselves and have approved themselves. Study to show thyself. But like you said, and they have approved themselves. Exactly. You're right. You're right. And then the Ruach comes to teach you. Exactly. Very well said. The questions I have, only the Ruach. When that's what he said to me when I was, how old was I? Was I 16 going on 17 or 18 going on 17 going on 18? I was at a job working for Salvation Army cooking. And he said it to me, look, you asked too many questions. From now on, I'm going to teach you. And I just laughed. You know how they said Sarah laughed when he said she going to have a child? I'm telling you something, y'all. He came to me saying that for real. And I laughed. I laughed because I was a person that asked questions and didn't have nobody to answer. And then my mom would go to her pastor and tell him, my daughter said this, my daughter said. They said, don't question your daughter. God is dealing with her. See, they didn't, because they couldn't answer the question. They said, told my mother, don't question your daughter, because God is dealing with her. She's a child of God. You think my mom didn't stand down? Yes, she did. Didn't go back telling nothing. But see, it took her pastor them to tell her that. But so now we see in verse you see in verse 10, he said he was in the world and the world knew him not. You see that, child? Didn't even know him. And he came down. Remember, I tell you when he came. You remember when Yeshua said, the kingdom of heavens is at hand? That's when he came. I told you the kingdom is on the earth, y'all. Nobody don't get it. I said it went over y'all heads. That's the first thing Yeshua came saying. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. I got so sick of them saying it. I said, well, wait a minute. The kingdom is down on the earth. Right then, just hearing that, just keep reading it, it led me to understand, wait a minute, Deborah, the kingdom is on the earth. The kingdom he brought down with him, came down with him. That's what he was saying. And that's what it's saying here. The power was here. I came down. And they knew me not. But let's go to the next verse, y'all. Let's go to the next one. And verse 11 said, he came unto his own, and his own received him not. Who is his own? Who is his own? Who is his own? Can't nobody answer that one? Listen to the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. Israel. That's right. Exactly. 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 Exactly what happened. Now, you see how he's telling you all? Now, why is it when I'm teaching you all and telling you about how Israel and Judah is and how he's fed up and he's done with them, look what he's saying. He came down. Yeshua kept saying, oh, the kingdom of heavens is at hand. Did y'all know before he started teaching and preaching or anything, that's all he kept saying? Just go back and read it, y'all. He kept saying, the kingdom of heavens is at hand. The kingdom of heavens is at hand. That's what he was talking about. That Yah was in the world and the world knew it not. And then he said he came into his own. His own mean those were those he had chosen to be his own people, his own nation, his own tribe in the same nation. He came to them. And what happened? What did he say? And his own received him not. Remember, they was the ones crucified. You see what I'm saying? See, y'all don't understand the type of people Judah and Israel is. You give them too much power and too much glory, too much honor, too much boasting, and too much everything. And we should not be doing that because that's wrong. That's not who we are in the eyes of the Father. Stop lying. That's why we're where we're at today. It's because we insist on giving our nation and our tribes the glory and the honor, and Yah gets nothing. Okay? So there it identified. He come into the world, and the world what? Believe. Let me get to where I need to be. Oh, here it is. And he come into his own, and his own received him not. I would, and you can find that in Luke chapter 19 and verse 4. Let's go to verse 12. In verse 12, it says, but as many as receive him, to them he gave, what? Power. See that? You see what I'm saying? Do y'all see? Does it says, but as many as received him, he loved? You don't see that, do you? You don't see it. You don't see that, do you? But what does it say? He gave them something. Gave. I told you, this creator is wrapped up in give and gave. Give and gave. That's who this Father in the kingdom is. He's giving gave. And when we understand that he's giving gave, then we'll see all that grace and mercy he didn't pour it out on us. And you know we ain't entitled to it. But he still suffer us today to have grace and mercy. He constantly has given us grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. He gave and gave us that. And we still can't see that he is give and gave. So here it is in verse 12. But as many as received him, to him he gave power to become the sons of Yah. Even to them that believes. You see that word believe? That's one of the brands. I told y'all. Person can get back to the kingdom in belief. Faith and belief. That's how all the other nations going to come in. Through faith and belief. On his name. On his name. That's how you're going to get in. And guess what? Who knows? Who can tell me on his name? And I should not do this here, but I'm going to do it anyway because I think this is a good time to do it. Take that verse 12 and dissect it. It says, the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Yah, even to them that believe on his name. Now, what is the name? Christ. You got it. You got it. Hamashiach. That's it. That's it. You see how I'll be telling y'all? We be focusing on, oh, the name is he. The name is it. Shut your mouth. How is it that you believe on the name? He's saying, because you believed on that power that came with the Son. It was the power. And if you go up at the beginning, he sit and tell you. All of this John is telling you about his power, his plan from the beginning. That's why he keeps saying it was with me. It was at the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning. He's been telling us that we miss Genesis 1 all the time. It would have told us everything we need to know today. And that's why we're where we're at today, because we missed it. And then John the Baptist, the Gospel of John, pull it up to match Genesis 1 that you missed, and you still missed it. Okay, so you're right. It was the power. Yeshua, it was Hamashiach. It wasn't Yeshua. It was Hamashiach, the power. Don't see, listen to what it says. It says it's right here in verse, what was it? What was we at? In verse 12. But as many as received him gave he power to become the sons of Yah, even to them that believe on his name. Because you can't know who is the one he's talking about as far as his name if you have not been born again, and not the flesh, but are born of the Spirit. But then there's many that still don't know that it was Christ we should have been looking for. It was Christ we should have been looking forward for. And then you know what's so sad? Let me tell you the sad thing about it. Yeshua had to go based on the will and the mission of the Father from the kingdom. But it was based on him saying he was the power. He was Christ. They didn't kill him because he said he was the son of Yah. They didn't kill him because he said he was the son of Mary and Joseph, or Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You notice that wasn't even put in there. They killed him because he said he was Christ, y'all. That shows you the power of Hamashiach, Christ, to where we miss the power all this time. That's why you don't see miracle signs and wonders. That's why people don't go into the hospitals. That's why people don't do miracles and signs and wonders. That's why people don't go into the prison's house. That's why people don't go to feed the hungry and the needy and give and give and give and give and give, because they don't have the power that backs it up and bag it down. That's why. See, if we went around here, we got the Ruach HaKodesh. We saved. We full of the Holy Ghost. Yeah, you're right. Where's the sign of the power? You can't find it. So that name is a name. You want me to show you how deep it is? He turned around and said the body of Hamashiach, not the body of Yeshua. Not the body of Yeshua Hamashiach, but the body of Hamashiach. Because it's the power that's going to protect us. It's the power that's going to shield and protect us and keep the hedges from around us, even when we ain't got the sense to know That's what he put around us as his saints. The power. That's who Christ is. Okay. So, and I like where it says in verse 12, them that believe, because he know that I know that belief is a brand. You branded them, baby. That's how they know that name. You branded them from the kingdom, Father, y'all. You branded them from the kingdom. Okay. So here we go. Verse 13. Now watch this here. Verse 13 speaks about verse 12, which was born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but Yah. Now, what is he sitting here telling y'all right then and there? Let me see who's gonna get that. Now, I don't think nobody gonna get that one though, Father. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think nobody gonna get that one. Let's go again. Verse 13, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yah. Now, what we're going to go to is verse 12. But as many as received him, to them he gave power to become the sons of Yah. That's why I tell y'all I'm a son of Yah. Okay. Even to them that believe on his name. Verse 13, which was born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yah. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Who in there who out here can tell that? Who out here? He's saying a mouthful. What is it saying? What is he trying to tell y'all? Verse 13, which were born not of blood, okay, nor the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but of Yah. What is you telling these people this midnight hour almost, Father? No, 9:39 Central Time, Father. What are you telling them? You think they're going to get it? Those already written. Which were born. Come on now, somebody help me out. The word, no. Okay. Okay, what he's saying here, when he left off in verse 12, it says, even to them that believed on his name. So we know that his name was Hamashiach, Christ. Verse 13 is talking about that Christ. Watch what he says, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yah. You know what he's saying to y'all? Check. Y'all need to check yourself. That's what he said. You still got to understand what he's saying. See what he was explaining to you all. Hamashiach, Christ is him. You ain't gonna place him being born of the blood. You ain't gonna place him born the will of the flesh. You ain't gonna place him born the will of man, but it's of God. So he said, check, don't get bent, don't be bent. He's letting you know. Yeshua was born son of man, born of a woman. He was born in flesh. He wants you to get checked and understand Christ came born of a woman. Christ came not of the blood, not of the will of a man. I came down like Yeshua told you. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. You missed it again. When he came down, he didn't have to check with nobody. And that's what he's checking you. Don't get bent. Because the one you say in verse 12 that believed on his name, which is Hamashiach, which is Christ, that's me. I'm Yah. I'm the Father. I'm the Creator. I'm not in verse 13. I'm not born of blood. I'm not born of the flesh, nor am I born of the will of a man. I am the Most High Yah. That's what he said. He's checking you to see if you really got 12. He's checking you to see if you really understood 12. Because to understand 12, you can salute 13 quick. Because 12 is telling you that this is the Father. And 13 is telling you don't take me there. I ain't of no blood. And I ain't of no flesh. And I ain't the will of a man. I'm Yah. Check. Because we still get in that same mode. That's how we miss Genesis 1. And we'll sit here and stand before the throne. They didn't teach me. They didn't show me. Or I was no, watch this here. Here they go. I was in captivity a million years. Knowing you weren't in captivity a million years. And if you were, you needed to be. But this is how they were going to come. This is how they going to come into the throne, y'all. Oh, he already checked me on that. Oh, yeah, Deborah, they coming back like they are now. I said, wait a minute, my father, no, they ain't. Yes, they are. That's why I said, no more mercy. Come to this throne when it's over. No more mercy, baby. You ain't going to find grace in the kingdom, and you ain't going to find mercy. So go up there clowning if you want to. The best thing you better do is hang your head. Shame for all the things you done. That's about it. So in verse 13, he's checking you to see if you really get it. That's what he did. See, that's what I was saying to y'all. It's a lot of things that's just plainly seen. When I told y'all that he said in the end days, knowledge shall increase. And this knowledge is not the knowledge of man. It's the knowledge of the Spirit. He's bringing the mystery of the Spirit of truth that's been sitting in the midst of us all the time. And we didn't want to read it nor believe it until some man or woman teach it to us. And it been there all this time. All this time. All we needed and we've been waiting for is the Ruach to break this trash down that everybody keep adding to it. Okay? So now we hit verse 14. He even checked us in 13 to see really did we know what we was talking about. Did we really understand? Because in 13, it showed check you. Wait a minute. Y'all better back that thing up. He said, tell them, Deborah, they better back that thing up. I wasn't born. Not of blood. Nor of the flesh. Nor of the will of man, but of Yah. Now, let me share with y'all what he's telling me. Can you break it down a little bit further to them, Deborah? Okay. You know when Yeshua came, right? What did it tell you? He was in the seed of the woman. Okay. That means I don't want him to have no connection to being the flesh seed of a man. We know that a woman don't have a seed, but we know in the spirit it is called a woman seed. But not like a female seed, but it's a spiritual seed. The seed of the woman is spiritual. Okay. So he's letting you know that when Yeshua came, he came born of a woman. So that means he had to have flesh. And what else? If he coming to shed blood, he has to have blood. Am I right? All right. All right. So now he has blood. So he came down as the Son of Man, just like you. You are a son of some man, or you are a woman of some man. Okay? So he came down in the flesh, Yeshua. That's how Yah wrapped himself, all that he was, in flesh. He came down with Yeshua flesh. That's why he couldn't use Joseph's sperm, because he's going to step into it. So he had to use the spirit of the angel Yeshua. But he was born of the flesh. You see? So when he came down, when Yeshua came down, he had more close to, maybe you could have said, Mary's blood. Why? Because Mary carried him. So she transferred her blood through him as well. Okay? So Yeshua came down born as a man. That means he was flesh. He shared the blood. So this is why when you get to the Gospel of John chapter 1 and verse 13, the Father said, check him. Check him. So they'll know who I am. And if you miss this here, you just miss it, y'all. Because here we are in the year 2024. We should have been and got all of this. But he said if they missed Genesis 1, they missed the whole book. So this here identified. So here it is in 13, check. What do you mean, check? Which was born not of blood, nor the will of flesh, nor the will of man, but of Yah. He's checking you to see, do you understand who he is? You better get it right. Because Yeshua came down what? As blood. He had to shed blood for us. The natural blood. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? So here he's saying that he didn't come down here in blood. So he letting you know, Chad, understand who I am. I am who I said that I am. Chad. Because right today, 99.15 billion was said that this is the Messiah, Yeshua. Not the Messiah, but Yeshua, Son of Man. That's why, what do I tell people? I tell people all the time, stop claiming. If you want to say Jesus Christ or you want to say Yeshua, you do that. But do it in the form of the flesh. But when you want to use the power, you can't say in the name, I've now baptized you in the name of Yeshua. Wait a minute, he ain't the power. See how crazy that is? You go up to somebody and put on, I pray for you in the name of Yeshua. I pray for you in the name of Jesus. I pray for you in the name of Yeshua. They talking flesh on flesh, baby. You better pull up the Hamashiach. You better pull up Christ, because that's the power. That's the power of healing, deliverance, raising the dead, waking the sick. That's the power. You see how we missed the power? That's what I'm saying to you all. That's how we missed it. It's what we're doing now. We keep on using the Son of Man without understanding the Son of Yah that brought all the power down, so that the Son of Man can complete the mission, because without him, he could not have been done. And then he's sitting up in the Gospel of John chapter 1. Check. Because they got to know that, hey, who's who. Now in verse 14, it says, in the Gospel of John chapter 1 and verse 14, it says, the word was made flesh. Listen to that. Dwell among us. And we beheld his glory. There his glory. The glory of the only begotten of the Father. Didn't I tell you? A lot of people thinking when he said his only begotten Son, they don't understand. The only begotten Son is the Father. That's his right hand. That's his power. That is Yeshua. That is the Son of Man, Son of Yah. That is Christ. That is Hamashiach. And here it says, and the word was made flesh. Why? Because it embedded itself into the Son of Man. And the Son of Man spoke. The word. You see? Now listen to what it says in verse 14. The word was made flesh. Why was it made flesh? It's because it came down in the womb of Mary to connect to the who? The Son of Man, Yeshua. Well, Deborah, how do you know? What did Mary and John the Baptist do? What did Elizabeth and Mary, when they got together, did something leak in both of them? If it was just Yeshua and if it was just John, I could see. But it was what was in Yeshua and what was in John that leaked. The Spirit of the Father. That's where you know the power was present with the Son of Man in the womb. And then he told them that the Son of Yah, that Mary is pregnant by the with the Holy Spirit. Ooh, we in trouble for all of y'all. And then Yeshua tell us when we have to tarry when we tarry and wait for the Comforter, and the Comforter would come in and it would abide with us. It is the Holy Spirit. So Yeshua been telling us that he wasn't the Holy Spirit. So who was that in Mary? Who warned John that the Holy Spirit was in Mary? Because it was in there with the Son of Man. And he wrapped himself in man so man can use who he was. Power, word, and spirit. Because man was born of the flesh. He needed it. Or else he wouldn't have lasted the years he did last. Okay? So it says, and I like what it says, and we beheld his glory, the glory of the only begotten Father of the Father. His only begotten. Only, y'all. Just think, only. How could we categorize? Now, listen to what I'm saying. How could we dare take the Father as if he only have only? How can we do that? How can we take the Father as having the only? We can't. You know why? We can't say that. We can't say the only begotten would have to be all that he got, or the only one he got. So what was that only? Anybody know? Let's read it again. Verse 14. The word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory of his only. The glory is what we beheld. What's the sense of beholding? Beholding something, because we see something going on. So listen to what it says in verse 14. And we beheld his glory, the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. What is the only begotten? The only begotten. Oh, his power. Somebody got it. Somebody got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. I didn't see that. You're right. The only begotten is his power. Exactly. That's the only thing he has that's only. See, he don't need more than one power. He is all power. So that's why he said his only begotten, all that he got. The only one he got, because he's all power. And he only got one of them because he is all power. You see? So that's why he said the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. We know that that's him. Okay? Now in verse, let me see, where do we stop at? We stop at verse 15. In verse 15, it says, John bare witness of him and cried, saying, there was he of whom I spoke. He that comes, watch this here. What John is saying is, John the Baptist Wait a minute. Yeah, John the Baptist was bearing witness of him, and he began to cry, saying, this was he. Now listen to what he said. Now it's a couple of scriptures telling you that John was talking about the kingdom when he was in the kingdom. But listen to what John says. He said, this was he in whom I spoke. I spake, but spoke. He's letting you know he's been telling everybody about the Most High Yah, the Son of Yah. Now watch this here. He that comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. That's deep. He's letting you know that even though he came before me, he came, wait a minute, he said, he that cometh after me is before me, for he was before me. He's talking about the Most High Yah. When he came, he was he before and after is letting you know he is the overall. He was before me and he's after me. He is all power. I know who he is, and I come to witness him. That's why he was confused a little bit about John. And when you say, baptizing Yeshua, that's why he stood there and said, why should he baptize him? He should be baptizing him, because he knew that he was supposed to be teaching the people about he that was coming to baptize by the Holy Spirit and by fire. And he knew that that was Yah, the power. So when he saw Yeshua and he having to baptize Yeshua, he was trying to baptize Yeshua. He was like, well, why am I baptizing him? Wait a minute, is this the power? Is this the power that I knew about? Wait a minute. It didn't make sense to John, but he obeyed it. And that's why heavens were open, the dove, and it was open to say, this is my beloved son in whom I am well pleased. That was to give a message really to John the Baptist that John, I'm there. That's me too. That's it. That's him. That's him. But John still wasn't content, because he was afraid when he went into prison. Was this the end of me, or is still yet the mission? So how he saw the mission was to send his disciples to Yeshua and say, are you the power or not? And when his disciples saw what Yeshua was doing and went back and tell John, John knew, oh, that was the power. Yeah, that's the power. It's time for me to decrease, because the power must increase. You see? So that's it. Anybody have any questions? We got a few minutes. And honestly, y'all, I got so many verses and everything to back up a lot of things that is found right here in John. But I look at it like this. When Yah showed me, as I was revealing this to you all, the Spirit of the Most High was saying to me, Deborah, that's that Genesis 1 I told you about. You know, when I say if they missed that, they missed this, the whole book. That's why it's John is Baptist. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, is actually bouncing off of Genesis 1. You see, so he's like, let me know. It ain't that they don't know. I put it in. I put it in them, baby. So I just say to the Most High Yah, I just thank him for such a wonderful message. I hope that you all got something out of it. And honestly, even if it takes you to replay it and kind of look into it again, and this time go in with the Ruach, and he would even show you more than he has shown me. But I tell y'all, this is one evening I would say I thank the Most High Yah, because I've learned something even by speaking to you all and with you all regarding this message. And it also came to bring confirmation that what he said about Genesis chapter 1, if they missed Genesis chapter 1, they'd have missed the whole book. And I believed it when he said it, because I knew I had been on this platform almost 6 years wondering why people just don't take the key and open up the door. It just didn't make any sense to me. But the comfort in it all is when he says, he spoke of the two gates that he created. And the two gates were created, and one was that very few shall find. So what I do know that it is hard to find this type of message and this type of truth, which is spirit and truth. Yeshua spoke of it in his time. The time shall come and the time is now. No, he said the time is now and the time shall come that the true worshipers shall worship in spirit and truth. And I also like the idea, he said, in days that knowledge shall increase. Now, him saying that knowledge shall increase, I myself, like I told you, if you look at him in twos, you have to know there's a knowledge in the natural and the knowledge in the spirit. And the kind of powerful thing about it is that the knowledge in the natural will never overpower the knowledge in the spirit. Never overpower the knowledge in the spirit. Never will it. Because that means he that is teaching the knowledge in the flesh is for the flesh, but he that speaketh in the spirit is for the spirit. The spirit is always going to know and understand the realm of the flesh as well as the spirit. That's the advantage of those who are born of the spirit. They have a little bit more understanding of the flesh, to where the flesh won't have no understanding of the spirit. So I say unto you all, thank you. I hope you got something out of it. And like I say, go over it again and see for yourself. Okay, it says, what came out of the house of David was just the blood sacrifice. The house of David came out the seed. See, y'all gonna always deal with us in the seed. See, y'all got two seeds on the earth. Y'all suffered two seeds to hit the earth, the spiritual seed and the natural seed. And this is why we don't understand Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We don't understand David. We don't understand Solomon. We don't understand nobody that are the spiritual seed, because we so stuck on the fleshly seed. So what we do is we go to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We go to David, and we teach and preach their action of their flesh and not the relationship in the spirit they had with a spiritual creator. And that's another thing that's kind of sad. That which came out of the house of David is a spiritual seed. And that same spiritual seed gonna pull up on Mount Zion again. It's impossible for David to be mentioned regarding Mount Zion, that the Mount Zion being restored. He spoke of David. See, what people don't understand is y'all are wrapped up in the spirit. What we did on this earth, we taught the realm of their flesh. That's why the men would take polygamy and ride it good, and all of them approve of them. The women and men, everybody approve of it, not understanding you can't approve something that was for the flesh. Now you can approve it for he that's living flesh, but you can't approve that type of lifestyle for he that is living spirit. You see what I'm saying? So what they did is they went in it and they decided to take out David of the flesh, and they mimicked his flesh ways. And they didn't think to take out David of the spirit that followed the spirit of Yah. Does that make sense? And this is where you see them following Abraham and what he does in the flesh. But you do not hear them mimicking and following Abraham as he followed who? The Messiah. Not the Messiah, Yah. They're not going to repeat what Abraham did in the process of following Yah. They're not going to repeat what David did in the process of following Yah. They're not going to repeat nothing that Isaac and Jacob, Solomon, or any of those men of Yah. They're not going to repeat what they did in the relationship with Yah. They only going to repeat what they did in their flesh. And they're going to justify it and clarify it and identify it as righteous. And you can't do that. He that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. He that is born of the spirit is of the spirit. You got to separate them bad boys. You cannot put them together. And that's where we are at today. And I'm going to tell you why I know that's where we are at. When they used to talk about Naomi and Ruth, and I'm reading this book, and I did not want to read the story at all. Really, I didn't. But one day I decided I'm going to read in this because I want to see what's this deal with Naomi and Ruth, and find out that it didn't have nothing to do with Naomi and no Ruth. We sitting here following the flesh of Naomi and Ruth and didn't understand why we following Naomi and Ruth in the flesh. Y'all following Bozak in the spirit. Sad. It wasn't them. It was the chase down of the bloodline that got detached when her husband died and her son died on the battlefield. So y'all was mending that spiritual bloodline back together, chasing after the king. And that's what Ruth and Naomi was going after, not knowing that this was a spiritual thing to connect the bloodline. And they did through Bozak. That was the king. That was the king of these men. To bring back what? The spiritual bloodline back into the fold. Read Matthew chapter 1 and you'll see all the bloodline from Yeshua all the way down to David, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And there you see Bozak. And all that time, they have those movies about Naomi and Ruth. And you got to bring things back into the spiritual purpose. Just like I was telling you about polygamy. That's why polygamy is not something righteous, you guys. It is not something just. It is for the flesh. Why is Yah going to honor and salute that which pleases the flesh? And one might say, well, it ain't just sexual, but it's everything, all of those wives you have for us wife pleases you and the things that's surrounding you in your fleshly life. Them wives are not doing anything spiritual to serve Yah. So you cannot justify and clarify and identify and okay righteous in polygamy when you have to be able to rightly divide that thing where it needs to be divided. And that is in flesh. Yes, it is. It's another teaching. So I, Sister Deborah, say to you, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tonight. And I hope that each and every last one of you all got something out of it. And I will be back. I, Sister Deborah, says, have a pleasant night. Shalom and shalom.